I'm Christa and I'm from Topology. I play violin, but I also am the Education Director for Top Up, our education program. And we're here feeling very hot, really hot up here. We're really working with 120 kids from the Tully cluster. That's a cluster of 10 schools up in the Tully, Mission Beach, Cassowary Coast region. And it's a project that we put together, but really I started putting it together last year.
Topology does quite a lot of work with young musicians and with schools, particularly in the area of composition. We work together with students to help them to work out how to create their own music. And most of that's reflecting their ideas back to them, helping them to refine them and to see them from an outside perspective, I suppose, and then giving them some tools and techniques to extend the ideas and refine them.
And we've been finding that there's really incredibly proactive teachers working in schools around Queensland, so we're basically just collaborating with them and working with the teachers. So we were touring our show Share House around Queensland regionally, and we always like to take workshops, education program into schools as we go, and it was a really good opportunity to visit a lot of schools. We were visiting Cairns. Meeting Karen Stewart, who is exactly one of those incredibly proactive, energetic, amazing teachers that are in the education department around Queensland.
This project, the Up Tully project, I was talking to Christa on the phone about topology performance coming to our area, and then we discussed how we could also incorporate some workshops with the visit. We got talking and then ideas just got bigger and bigger and bigger, as they do sometimes, and I got really excited. And it's like, oh wow, how cool would it be if we could get all the kids together to write music.
Karen just doesn't do anything by halves, and neither do we. So the one workshop ended up with 4 or 5 months of Rob and John coming up working with the kids every few weeks, and now we've got a whole entire concert's worth of music that's written by the kids to be played by the kids.
The first time we came up was a real introductory lesson into just being creative, getting the kids to not look at their music and each come up with their own idea and perform that for everyone. And we took those ideas and sort of moulded them into compositions.
So over the last couple of months, Topology's come here and they've been doing workshops with all the kids, and we've been writing different pieces of music and just teaching us different little skills like improvisations and all that.
One of the things that was interesting for us, the songs haven't been about mobile phones, nightclubs, romantic disasters and breakups. The songs are largely about a love of place, a love of culture, people and connections, and that took me beautifully by surprise.
And then not only that, particularly John Babbage, he's been working with students who had musical ideas on their instruments and work out little things and help them to extend that into an instrumental composition, some of whom have now composed for the whole Wind Symphony.
I think it is amazing, so many people had so many good ideas, and we just basically put them all together like a jigsaw puzzle, and here we are, we've got a song and beat.
These kids haven't written anything before. I mean, of course, everybody writes in their head, sings songs, but they've never formally written a piece. And so it was a very exciting yet confronting, challenging idea for the kids, and they've just totally embraced it.
I've had to learn what sounds good together, also for songwriting, how to make it all even structured, to make it sound like a song, to put the right amount of syllables in lyrics. It's actually a lot more complicated than it seems.
They've certainly taken to it, really enthusiastically. They were very sort of apprehensive and a bit nervous at the start on how they're going to write a piece.
It's not only for experience and fun and all that, it's to develop your ability to play instruments and play in a big crowd and be confident.
I mean, we're a sort of a ruralish community, extremely diverse. You could tell from the start the actual concept was well out of their ken. They're used to have sheet music and they play it, or they see other people playing songs. But you could see when we were saying you'll be writing music with other people, you could sort of see this, oh yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like. And actually probably even up until fairly recently, when suddenly it's coming together and they can see, okay, yes, they may have made up the melody and worked with Rob on the melody, but suddenly there's John and Karen and the band, suddenly, oh my God, there's an arrangement behind them. So it's actually, that's another lovely bit of it, to watch them seeing how this unfolds.
Giving them a chance to realise their creative potential was definitely a lovely thing to see happen, and that was one of our goals. And for students to perform pieces written by their peers rather than always performing a piece written by someone they don't know or have never heard of before. And to play music that's written about things, people, places that they actually know.
It's interesting hearing people play the song you wrote. Makes you feel pretty good that professionals can play your piece.
To feel them play music that I know we've written all together, feels amazing. To know that this isn't some long dead composer. It's kind of a feeling of pride, of ownership, the knowledge that it's completely ours. It's not going to be replicated. No one else has this music.
From one little idea to a whole band playing it, it's a feeling that you can't even fathom that you're ever going to have.
I think it's been incredibly empowering. Some of the kids really felt like this was going to be a huge challenge and maybe, oh, can I do it? So it was really a lot of self-doubt, I think. But looking at them over the last couple of days, it's incredible. They're really autonomous, they're self-sufficient.
My favourite part would have just been meeting everyone and the experience of it all. It's been interesting being like the older kid, because you have to help all the little kids with the notes they don't know and just the tunes and stuff.
Topology's top-up program, the thing which is distinctive about it, I think, is that it's very collaborative. We work very much alongside the young musicians, the students. Because it's very responsive to each individual student, it's very tailored. You know, it varies very much, even in this project, from spending 1 hour in a primary school writing a song to spending a lot longer over a long period, you know, creating these instrumental pieces. There's been quite a lot of diversity of the actual creative approaches. So it's not a one-size-fits-all at all. It's very much meeting people as they are and also meeting them as collaborators.
We're taking Top Up into the more regional areas we can. I mean, we really very firmly believe in making education program, music education, accessible to everybody, not just in the metropolitan region. Tully has a population of 2,500. We think it's really, really important to go everywhere we can. And that is thanks to funds like Tim Fairfax Family Foundation, regional arts development funds, that enables us to go, because these schools don't have big budgets.
We're 2 hours south of Cairns, 3 hours north of Townsville. We don't often have touring musicians coming through this section of the country, you know, and especially to spend this amount of time here as well. So that's been a great opportunity to be able to give the kids access to such great talented composers and musicians, and something that's, you know, it's a bit of culture.
Working with Topology is great. They're really knowledgeable, they know everything they're talking about, they're really keen to help out. If you ask a question, they've instantly got the answer, and it's just great to see the people with this much information just wanting to share it with the kids and being able to do it as well as they can.
Yeah, I would love to do this again. It's a really great learning experience, and I'd love for some of the younger students, who when they come to high school next year, to be able to experience this.
Standing strong with pride and joy.
I would recommend this program to other schools in Australia, definitely. The evidence is here that your students don't have to be at a very high level of ability with their playing to be able to compose something that sounds great, and they love it, you know. And plus we've also been able to develop and enhance our higher level of ability students. Topology have come and encouraged them to write something challenging for themselves to play. And so that's actually quite an interesting process for students to go through as well, to challenge themselves.